Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Casual Sports Podcast. Don't know why that intro was like that. I know we've had some weird intros, like yesterday and now today. I don't know. What
I don't
was
know.
going on there. Yesterday we had a technical difficulty. Now today, I don't know.
It's part of doing it online, Matt.
I guess, yeah, I guess so. But let's see here. What we got? What are we gonna talk about today? All right,
Anything you want.
All right, so I got a couple of things here. We're going to jump into the Horizon League here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about YSU baseball, and we're talking about YSU softball. So, and why not? I mean, first I want to talk about this first. We'll get to the softball first. But the NFL changed their overtime rules.
Yeah.
So, thank God. At least they're changing it, at least for the playoffs, which I think is fine, because that's really when it counts. So, like Josh Allen would get another shot, and you even go years ago, Patrick Mahomes would have had another shot against Brady. Like, it's happened before. You just got to be on the winning side of it.
My thing is if you're going to do it for the playoffs, just do it for the regular season. Do everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're going to have big games in the regular season too that might not come, that are going to come down to that, and the other guy's not going to get a chance. Because there's a lot of big games in the playoffs down the stretch, and there's games for seeding and games for the division and everything. That's going to matter then too.
Yeah, I think they're just testing it out first before eventually it's going to be like a huge thing. Like, it's going to be in the regular season too. Like, it's going to take over eventually, I think. So, but there was that on that. I'm glad they changed it. Buffalo could have had a very good shot, like, winning that game if those overtime rules were made. But that wasn't all on the overtime. Like, there were certain things that they could have done differently, like not play prevention defense. But you know who they're going to go to. It's either Hill or Kelsey, and you're playing prevention defense. So they shouldn't even have gotten overtime, in my opinion. But it happens, and in the end, I'm glad they're changing the overtime rules. Some of the coaches don't like it. I guess Mike Tomlin came out and said he likes the competitiveness of it. He likes just the sudden death. Like, you have to be on your toes right there. Like, I like that part of it. I do. But I don't like the ties. That's just –
They need to do away with ties.
They do.
There's just no reason for it. You have, these overtime things that, and they're changing the rules now to give these guys a chance. There's just no reason. There's no reason there should be ties.
No, not at all.
But sometimes it helps teams. It kind of helped Pittsburgh this year. They still had a chance with that tie to get in. So sometimes it helps the team, but I don't think there should be any ties at all.
I don't think so either. But there's that on that. I'm sure we could probably jump to the NFL again, talk more free agents, but we're going to move on here. I was going to give a high school preview because I was supposed to have a game tonight, but it got canceled because, well, it says too cold outside. So we'll see how tomorrow plays out.
Oh, yeah, baseball tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, well, this was going to be a softball game that I was supposed to have Badger tonight, but weather's too cold. Like, I get it. I'll play outside in this. It's just too cold. I woke up this morning at 17 degrees. I'm like, I don't think so. Yesterday,
at least the sun's out, though. At least the sun's out.
Yeah, the sun is out, so that is good. Tomorrow's supposed to be really nice. So yeah, I did hear it was supposed to rain, but now I guess rain's not in the forecast, which is good. So, but let's go ahead and move into Horizon League baseball. We'll just talk YSU. I know Alex usually jumps around the league. We'll talk YSU today. YSU, they're coming off a tough stand against West Virginia. They were swept, but they did beat Penn State. They went in and beat Penn State 2-1, then ended up getting swept by West Virginia. There's a couple close games, like the 6-4 game. The 9-3, like that could have. It's only 6 runs. Like it could have. A couple of things went the other way, I bet. But the last game, the West Virginia showed some power. They won 13-2. But tomorrow they actually play Michigan State at 4, so that'll be good. And then they got a huge series coming up against Oakland. And then they got to go play the Buckeyes, and then they got Pitt at home, so that'd be sweet. So they got like a tough stretch coming up. If they can win some of these games, Michigan State, Oakland, Ohio State, even Pitt. I think they already beat Pitt once.
It's not a bad program either.
Yeah, they did beat Pitt. They beat Pitt the first time 5-2, so that's good. They don't have a bad record. They're 9-14. It's still early. They're 2-1 in their conference. So, and they haven't been home yet, so their first homestand is coming.
Yeah, I mean they open up at home against Pitt, and then they have that
against Pitt,
and they have NKU coming in, Niagara, Milwaukee, and Oakland.
Milwaukee would be tough. And
that's a tough stretch to open home play. I mean,
that'd be sweet if Ohio State came and played them because I'd go watch that. Like,
I want to go to that Pitt game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on. That's tomorrow, or that's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
That's next week. Yeah,
that's next week. Next week. All right, we'll have to figure something out. But I mean, I like some of these players that they've had. I have some classes with some of them, so I mean, it's pretty cool to talk with them. You've had classes with like football players and basketball players. I don't think I've ever had a class with a baseball player. And
no.
So I talked to him more than any of the other players because I love baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know some of the guys on this team, but I've known, or not known them, but I've talked to some guys in the past on the team, and even the coach that they still have now. He's been there a couple years now, so it's starting to seem like they're starting to turn something around and kind of like build off what he's trying to put in place. Yeah,
it is. So hopefully they can have a good season. They have some tough games coming out. But it should be fun to watch and, seeing some of those games. And, they are on YSN Live, too, so they're easy to watch. I do think it's audio only, I believe. But it's still, listen to the game. Richard Giuliano on there. He's doing pretty good at what he does. Oh, yeah, he's good at what he does. We can even put that out there. But,
really good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But, it's a long season. They're going to have some tough games. These next couple series they're really going to see where they stand. Honestly, then they get in the league play. Like if you can fare against these tough teams, like they beat Penn State. I don't care who you are. You're a Big Ten team, and you get beat by
still hard.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard. It's going to be hard against Michigan State as well. So, but other than that, anything else you got for baseball here? I have to go to some games. So.
I definitely want to go to that Pitt game or at least one of their other. I haven't been to a game since I've been in college.
I
keep saying every year I'm going to go, and I don't go. I never go.
I think I went to a game when I was in middle school. It was a field trip.
Oh, really?
It was our what'd you get? Like you get like that main field trip when you're in like middle school or whatever. It's like a field day or something.
We did an Indians trip when I was in the 6th grade.
See, my school was too cheap to do that. But, I mean, we went and saw the Phantoms play one year, and then we went and saw the YSU play. So, I think one year, our senior trip was like the Cleveland Zoo, though.
Yeah, we did that sometime in junior high, I think.
Oh, okay. See, some big like Girard, that's a junior high school. For my school, that's the main trip.
Girard's not a big school,
but it's a lot bigger than my school.
There's a lot bigger than Girard.
Yeah. But all right, let's move into the softball here. I've seen a couple of their games already. I'm going to see a couple more here. So I mean, they're doing all right. They're 16-12. They've had some tough losses. Let's see. They just lost to I think it's the same one. No, it's not. Never mind. But they did play at St. Peter's College. So I'm going to check to see if it's the same one. It might be the same one. Might be the same college. Let's look. I don't think I can. All right. But, I mean, they've had some tough ones. I was at the game where they split against St. Bonaventure. They almost won that first one. If it wasn't for an amazing catch in the outfield, it would have been going into extra innings. And that second one did go into extra innings, and they ended up winning 3-2. So that was pretty cool. That was last Tuesday. Now they're going to be this Friday. They're going to play IUPUI. They have a 3-game set with them. Then they got to play Niagara. This is all at home, so this should be a pretty good game. I'll be at that Niagara game, so that one of them. So I'll be doing camera or whatever for that game. But then they got to go on the road for a while. They got Cleveland State and then Niagara again, and then St. Bonaventure again. So they have a little bit of a tough ride. St. Bonaventure are not the best of teams, but they did beat them. And almost beat them twice. So it'll be something to see them in action. Then further down the schedule, they do have Ohio State on their schedule. They'll be in Ohio State. So that's sweet. I like how, some of these teams you get to play Ohio. Like half these kids here like Ohio State. And like your college goes and plays them. That's pretty cool. Just like YSU go and play in Penn State. we like Penn State. Like, oh, no, that's sweet. Our school's going to play the school we like.
Yeah.
So
that's
sweet.
I mean, you had that in basketball this year.
Yeah, YSU played Penn State.
Men's played them, right? I know.
Yeah.
The girls did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think that's pretty cool. So, but I mean, pitching is the same. I saw some good play with Ellie Buffenbarger is still lights out. I think she's over 625 strikeouts, something like that in her career. She still got it. But hitting's coming around too. I mean, Haley Niederkor had the walk-off hit the other last week. That's how they won. So that good to see things from her. She hasn't had the best hitting, so it's finally good to see her come about. But other hitting in the rotation, I mean, Yasmin Romero, she's their leadoff hitter. That's one of their leaders of the team. So it's pretty cool to go and watch them play. So
yeah,
they're a pretty good team. So I've talked to some of the players. They're cool. They're chill. They're just like us. They're in college too.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's just fun to interact. Like, I never got the chance to play any sports like this, and that to know somebody that does it at a college level was pretty sweet. So, and it's awesome to do camera and and even call the games. I called the games last year, so it's a fun experience. To go watch softball. So
yeah, that's another
honestly, I think softball in ways. I think softball is more competitive than baseball because it's 60 feet to first base, not 90. So that infield has to be lights out, or you're in trouble. So
yeah, and we were talking about it the other day. They're in the ball's bigger. It's harder to throw it too.
Yeah. That's why they got to underthrow it. That's why they underthrow it. So it's and you gotta. I mean, even when the ball's hitting the outfield, even that, like, you gotta get it in quick because once again, it's short base running. I've seen a lot of triples hit, so it's something to be on. But for YSU, I mean, they led last year. They had they won the Horizon, so hopefully they can repeat that this year. But hopefully they go a little bit more in the playoffs this year. But I think last year was like a first round exit or something like that. But the team is looking pretty good. I saw some stuff they could work on, but I mean, it's early. You're going to have stuff you're going to need to work on. They pretty much look like the same team they were last year. So they have a couple players coming back from injury. So that'll be good to see there. I've been to a couple of those games. I'll go to a couple more probably. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, that's another thing. I've been saying I want to go to a softball game. I haven't been there either.
I've been to a lot of softball games. This is the baseball I haven't been to.
Yeah.
But softball's easier to go to because it's right on campus. Baseball plays at Eastwood Field. Baseball is on campus. Heck yeah. You just got to walk there.
They should get a campus stadium.
They should.
It's sweet playing where the Scrappers play, but they should get a campus stadium.
Yeah, they should. I don't know where would they even put it.
Good question. They should put it somewhere downtown. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, put it down by the courtyards. There's that huge field out there. I mean, they can make something out of it. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, it won't happen.
But, no, I like how they play Eastwood Field. It's a nice field. So.
Oh, it is.
But further, going on further here. Anything else here with softball you want to talk about? We can move on here if you want.
I don't have softball, but since I wasn't here last week and you guys did baseball predictions, do you want me to give my division predictions?
Yeah, go ahead. Give your baseball
I got it quick. I was writing some down.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll start in National League. So I'll start with the
West. Yeah, for MLB. Why don't you wait on this because we're going to talk about MLB today. We'll talk about
okay.
MLB.
Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on here. We'll fly through some stuff. We're going to talk NBA here next. So, moving on into the NBA, we got 3 games to pick here. There's not a lot to talk about. I mean, not a lot of sports are happening. Basketball, March Madness has come down to the end. It's I mean, they don't even play till Saturday. So we'll preview those. I'm sure Alec has some stuff for Friday or something like that. But we'll talk some NBA. Cavs won last night, but, I mean, the Celtics lost in overtime against the Raptors.
Yeah, I was watching that one. Or not, I was keeping an eye on the score.
The Bulls lost. The Bulls did lose.
Yeah, that was good.
So if the Raptors keep winning, the Bulls keep losing, and we keep winning, we'll just overtake the Bulls. So that's how that's going to happen.
Okay, we'll jump somebody.
Yeah, we just got to get in. I don't care who it is. We just got to get in.
Yeah.
But for this game, you got the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Milwaukee 46-28, and as is Philly, they're both 46-28. So their last 5
second, aren't they?
Yeah, something like that. Let's look.
Yeah, second. They're tied for.
Boston is
Miami's back in first now.
Yeah, because Boston lost last night, but Toronto's a team on the rise too. Like, man, they might jump up a couple more spots. Like, they're a heck of a team, and the Cavs had the injuries last night, so
I'll tell you what.
Injuries.
A lot of people were talking about the Cavs. They were a surprise team this year. I was surprised at the Raptors this year too.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. The Raptors are a huge surprise. And there's been some surprises in bad ways too. Like I mean the Knicks and the Hawks. I'm like, are you serious? Like the Hawks were just in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now look. So I don't know. I was kind of disappointed about that, but they'll be back. So
yeah, they're just having a bad year.
I mean, yeah, Milwaukee. I mean, defending champs. They're here for a reason. Philly's been trying to make runs every year, and they just haven't gotten it done. So, I mean, I know they've added James Harden, but, I mean, I just don't see it. There's no injury. Giannis is on a day-to-day for Milwaukee, though. So, probably go Philly in this game.
I'm going to go Philly as well.
It's a big game.
Like the last week or so that they were like, they lost a couple games. They weren't themselves. They weren't like playing how they were when they first got James.
Yeah,
I think they broke out of that now. I think they're starting to. Yeah. I mean, they got themselves back tied for second place, and like you said, you still have Giannis day to day. So I'm gonna go Philly.
Yep. There's 3 teams here that are game out of first. You got Milwaukee. Boston dropped from 1 to 4 last night.
Yeah, that's just how close it is.
Yeah, like that really shows you right there. The Cavs are still 5.5 out. Toronto and Chicago are 4.5 out. They have the same record. So, one of those teams, I think they play. Yeah, Bulls play tonight. We'll be talking about that right now in a second. Bulls versus Wizards tonight. So if the Bulls lose, they'll drop into that 6th spot. And Cavs are right there. Cavs are just right there. They need to just – if they win 4 in a row, we're golden.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
and
all
you know
we
what?
need.
That's possible of happening too.
Yeah, it is. It's very possible.
They could beat the Hawks. They could beat the Knicks, and I mean Philly's kind of a toss up. But then they got the Magic again after that, so they could win like 3 of the next 4.
They play Dallas tomorrow?
Oh, Dallas too. Yeah, Dallas, and then. But I still think
tomorrow,
Dallas. Right? That still could be. I don't know what's happening with Mobley yet, but that could still be a team. That could still be a team that could win at home against.
I can't believe now you got Mobley and Jared Allen out. That's just bad.
This team's had bad luck.
They were up by like 25 points in that game, and they almost ended up losing it because I bet you if Mobley didn't start, and Markkanen got hurt too, but he came back. Markkanen is key, and all these guys are key. So I mean, I don't know. We gotta stay healthy. I don't know what's going on with that. They're not staying healthy. Why are we like the only team that can't stay healthy?
It's been the entire year. It's not just been like a month. It's been the entire year.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. First it was, of course, Colin Sexton. Now, what? You had Ricky Rubio got hurt. You brought in replacements. Rondo's hurt. Dean Wade's hurt. Jaron Allen, and now Evan Mobley is hurt. Evan Mobley is day to day though. He is day to day.
Yeah, so, and then like the first month they had the COVID issues. Then after the All-Star break, Arlen had a back injury. I mean, it had not been fully healthy the entire year.
They haven't been,
and they're still 9 games over 500 despite all that.
Yeah, so
I'm not one to make excuses, but it's like, gosh, I mean,
they had their first winning season without LeBron since 1997-98 season. So that's something right there. So I like that. But moving on here, who you picking? Oh, we picked Milwaukee over in the Sixers, right?
No, Philly over.
Yeah, we picked the Sixers. But all right, let's move on to the next game here. 20 minutes into the show, we'll talk a little bit more about this game. The Chicago Bulls taking on the Washington Wizards. Washington, they're an up and down type of team. If Kuzma's going, and Kuzma's out too, so that's not good. And then you have Caruso and Levine out with the Bulls. And they're a sneaky team. Levine and Caruso are just compliments to DeRozan. DeRozan is going off. Like, DeRozan doesn't miss many shots. Like, I was watching that Cavs game when they played the Cavs, and like most of his shots were well defended, and he would still make them. He would still make them.
He's. I don't know if it's just been him, getting out of LA and being in another team, but he's become a lot better, a way better
about
shooter.
The Spurs, DeMar DeRozan.
Oh,
he was with the Spurs.
Okay, well, I heard you say Kuzma. I was talking about Kuzma because.
Oh, I'm talking about Kuzma too. Yeah, Kuzma.
His shots or his game overall since he's got traded, it's really improved.
It's great. Yeah, he's allowed to take more shots and not worried about getting yelled at by LeBron James. Don't take that shot. Pass it to me.
I'll miss
it. Yeah. So that's good. He's out though. It says out, so they won't have him in this game. So I'll go with Chicago in this game. We need them to lose, but I just feel like they could probably win, even though they don't have Levine or Caruso. If they didn't have DeMar DeRozan, I'd be like, yeah, they're gonna lose, because if they didn't have him against the Cavs would have won that game. So
yeah. I mean, they came back, but Matt, I'm going to go – just because we need it, I'm going to go Wizards. Just because we need it.
Just because we need it. That is true.
And I think they're capable of doing it.
Yeah, they are. They are capable of doing it. But
they started off really good this year, but then after that first month, they just tanked. The Wizards.
Yeah, they did. They are in Washington tonight, so they get the home. They are 19-18 at home. But, the Bulls are 17-22 on the road.
Yeah.
So there you have that. But all right, you writing these down?
Yeah, I was writing some stuff down. Yeah.
All right, sweet. So all right, but we'll see. The season's coming down to the end. We're just gonna have to see what happens. It's gonna be it's a close race in the East. The West is pretty much solid up. We'll jump to the West here with this game. We'll talk a little bit more about the West. Jazz versus the Clippers. Clippers are still in that play-in, right?
Yeah.
Let's look. But the Jazz, a very solid team. They've been there every year. Jazz have always been a playoff team. So
they never get over that hump, though.
They're in the playoffs, but they don't do anything. They maybe win first round or something like that, and then lose in the second round. But yeah, Clippers are currently in that 8 spot for the play-in. Let's go and pick this game quickly, and we'll talk about the West here. We've talked the heck out of the East side. We know it's a close race. Let's talk a little bit more about the West. Pretty much, Phoenix got that first spot all tied up. So
yeah, they ain't losing that.
I'm gonna go Jazz here. I think the Jazz will take the Clippers tonight.
I'm gonna go Jazz too, but this Clippers team,
it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close.
They don't go away for sure.
They don't.
But
they don't at all.
I think Utah, they kind of slipped a little bit. They're on a 5th now. They were like 3rd or 4th like a month ago, but Dallas jumped them. The Warriors, as much as they've been slipping now too, they're now in 3rd. But no, Utah, you're right. They're kind of like Colorado in hockey. They're usually good in the regular season, and they really don't do anything in the playoffs.
Right. Dallas is only they're only ahead of them by a game. So they're right there. It's all close right there.
And it's how Memphis all lit too.
Besides the 1 and 2 seeds, it's close.
Yeah.
So you have Golden State there, then they're 48-28, and then Dallas is 46-29, Utah's 45-30, then Denver's sitting there at 45-31. Mm-hmm. And Minnesota's there too. Minnesota's 43-33. So they can jump in too. I like that Minnesota team. They're sneaky.
Oh, I do too. They could shoot too.
Oh yeah.
But comparing each conference though, it's the West is kind of top heavy because after Minnesota, the last 3 teams, 8, 9, and 10, they're all under 500.
Yeah.
So it's kind of anybody really can win this year. That's kind of the good thing because
it is.
You can make an argument for Phoenix winning it all. They were just in the finals last year, and once they get healthy, they probably are going to be the favorite. Then you got Memphis. They're all the way up. They're 30 games over 500. And they just jumped. They're at the number 2 spot in the West. For as young as they are, and they're look at the record without Jamal Murray. They're 18-12 or 18-2.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then on the East side of things, it's like you got Miami, Philly, Milwaukee, defending champs. They're 3. Anybody can win this year.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis beat the Oklahoma City Thunder by 73 points. That's the most deficit. They beat. I think they passed the Cavs. Cavs had like a 68-point win over somebody. I think it was Miami, but back in the early 90s or something like that. But Memphis beat them. I mean, I know Oklahoma City's not really a good team. They're one of the worst in the NBA. Yeah, they're already eliminated. They've won 22 games, but Houston's only below them. So. But I know that they're going through some stuff. But, I mean, to beat a team, it's still an NBA team by 73 points, and you don't even have Ja Morant, that's something. That is something right there. I bet you if they had Ja Morant, they would win by 80 or 90.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah,
maybe. But they're still a heck of a team without him. I like this Grizzlies team. I like Steven Adams is on that team. I like Steven Adams. I know Alec likes Steven Adams. He's a heck of a player. Who else they got on this team?
Pitt boy, Steven Adams.
Yeah, he's from Pitt. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Like, he's from Pitt. Let's see here.
But
yeah, but like I mean, this West race is very, very tight. Besides those top two teams, I mean, it's very close. I mean, you have Ja Morant. Desmond Bane is a heck of a player. DeAnthony Melton is good. So I like some of these players they have. They have some good players.
That's a good thing too. I mean, they don't. They have a couple household names like Morant and Steven Adams, but they don't really have like guys. They just have guys that play hard. They don't have guys like name wise that stand out to you like, oh, we know this guy and all this, but they just play hard, and they know how to play too as a team, and that's what you need. They play as a team.
They do. They play team ball. They play like that St. Peter's team did. They play. Yeah. They're just out there having fun. They're just out there having fun, and they're winning.
You watch Memphis Grizzly games; they're having fun. Believe me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right now hopefully, I mean, right now I'm seeing Phoenix versus Memphis in the Western Conference Finals. That'd be something. That'd be a heck of a Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Suns versus Grizzlies. I mean, sooner or later, Ja Morant is going to go to an NBA Finals. It's coming. It is definitely.
It's going to happen sooner than later.
Oh yeah. I remember a week or so ago. I forget what his name was, but he was on First Take, and what was his name? I forget who it was. I'll have to Google it. But he was out there bashing Allen Iverson. Like, he was saying Ja Morant is way better than Allen Iverson. Like, Allen Iverson had like 40% shooting or 36% shooting from three, and like, he wasn't like, all he had was handles and stuff. Like, I don't agree with that at all. But the fact that someone's like mentioning that, like, wow, like, you're putting Ja Morant with Allen Iverson.
I think when it's all said and done, Ja could be better than Allen, but not.
He could
right
be
now.
Not right now. Yeah. Not right now, but he could be. But man, you should have seen Stephen A. Smith. He was flabbergasted.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh my goodness! I have to find out who that guy is.
I can imagine. Like I said, it could be eventually, but I mean, because like I said, next couple of years, like Ja could have a legit chance of winning it all. Allen had a couple shots, but he couldn't get it done.
Yeah, he could. Where is he? They're saying like Ja Morant is he's a taller version of Allen Iverson, which I mean, I can see it. So then they have a lot of identical plays. There's even a video here that says identical plays, and it's like 2 minutes long. So, but we'll have to see. It was Mad Dog. You know Mad Dog?
Yeah, he does baseball.
Yeah. He was on there talking about it, and Steve went off again. Yeah, me too. I don't really watch First Take too much anymore. I
just see clips of it on my phone, like when somebody says something funny.
I think I'd get a headache if I watched that whole show.
That's what it's known for.
Yeah, I just watch like Get Up. And
sometimes when it's on,
can you imagine? Can you believe that? What was his name? He does a show with Shannon Sharp now.
Skip.
Yeah, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith were on First Take. Like, how?
I miss it. It was so good back then.
Was it?
Oh yeah, I remember watching it too.
They yelled and yelled like Skip. Because
Skip would just say things to get him going.
I know. Skip Bayless is like Stephen A. Smith. Like, they're the same person.
I know a lot of people don't like Skip, but I like him.
why? Because he's a Cowboys fan.
You had to throw that in, didn't
you? Oh yeah, absolutely. And that was the big thing. Like Stephen A. Smith hates Dallas, and he likes them.
That's why it was so good. It was so entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Stephen A. liked LeBron, and Skip said things against LeBron. They were never on the same page.
No, they weren't. But let's go back here. I mean, moving on from basketball, it should be. I mean, I thought last year was probably the best NBA Finals I've seen in a while with Milwaukee and Phoenix. This year might top it. These teams coming in, like, do you see like you put like Miami versus Phoenix? That'd be sweet. Or Memphis versus Boston. I'd watch that. Like that. I'm gonna watch it anyways. But that'd be
Boston really get in. Boston can get in. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, they can. They can. So we'll just have to wait and see it. Like, you never know with Cleveland. So
you just don't know. Like I said,
what if you see like a Cavs versus like Memphis Grizzlies? Like, what the heck would you do? I wouldn't even care if we got swept.
We might get waxed by them.
Oh, we'd get whacked. Oh, I mean, but if we would make it that far, like, I don't know. So
I think it'd be sweet if we just won a series this year.
Yeah, that would be sweet. We like get one series, or lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, or something like that. That'd be sweet. But let's move on here. Let's move into hockey. Here's some tight games here. Toronto Maple Leafs, they're 41-19, taking on the Bruins, who are also 41-19. This one should be a tough battle. They're in the same division. They're looking to top each other. Let me look. Get these standings up. But yeah, they're looking to top each other. They're right there. It's so close there. Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston are all tied for second. So whoever wins tonight can take sole possession of second place, but the Lightning also play too. So if the Lightning, we're going to talk about their game too, they have to play Carolina. So if the Lightning loses and Boston wins tonight, Boston is in second place. And they're not too far out from first. Florida 60, or they're 44-15, where Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston are all 41-19. Well, Tampa Bay is 41-18, but if they lose tonight and Boston wins, like, they'll take over them. So that would be something. That'd be something to see. So it's real tight there too. So like this Atlantic division is tough. Metropolitan is tough. I've talked to death about the Metropolitan. This Eastern Conference is real. Like, this is a tough conference. I'm really seeing this more now.
Yeah,
like all these teams are close. They're all competitive. They're all competitive teams. You know how many overtime games they have? Like, they're 6, 5. Like, even Detroit, they have 8 overtime games. That's overtime losses that I'm looking at, but Pittsburgh has 10 overtime losses. So, like, that's why I don't want Pittsburgh to go into overtime. I want them to win in regulation because, 10 overtime losses, they're tied with Buffalo.
They're not good in overtime at all.
Buffalo has 10 overtime losses, and Buffalo's one of the worst teams in the NHL, and we have the same overtime losses as them.
Didn't we just lose to Buffalo too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
In overtime. Shootout.
In overtime. Sad to see here. Anaheim is dropping. The Ducks are dropping. I know the skid they've been on. I hate to see it. They've lost 9 in a row.
At the worst time.
I know. They were such a great young team. They were up there, and they just lost some stuff. I don't know. They did make some trades. I know that, but that's just so sad. Like, they were doing so good. And it's just that all-star break ended, and they've been dropping. Like, 9 in a row. So they're the worst. They have 11 overtime losses. That's the worst in the league. But Pittsburgh is tied with – Pittsburgh is the best out of all of them with overtime losses. So they're tied. They're in second place, and they are tied with Winnipeg and Chicago, who are at the bottom of the barrel. And then – I mentioned Anaheim, who's the only team that has more. Oh, the Philadelphia has 11 too. So then they're at the bottom of the barrel. And
they're one of the worst teams.
Washington's
Montreal.
Up there a little bit. Washington's up there a little bit more. They have 10 overtime losses too, but that's as abysmal. So 10 overtime losses? Like, come on.
Montreal's got 11.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're also one of the worst teams. I can't believe how bad they are. They were just in the Stanley Cup final last year.
Yeah, they beat us.
That's just bad.
They beat us in the first round of that playoff. I was mad. But all right, we'll see. Let's pick this game here, though. Boston versus Toronto. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Toronto on the road.
Go Toronto on the road. Oh, they're in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a hard place to win.
Yeah,
on the road.
Yeah, it is. I can't stay in Boston, so I gotta think here. Give me a second. I don't know. Boston's a tough team. They're just tough, and they're mean. And they've been coming around, too. But they've won 4 in a row. They're on a streak.
By the way, Matt, who'd you pick in that Jazz-Clippers game?
I don't know. Jazz.
Did you? Okay.
But I'm going to go difficult here. I'll go Boston. I can't stand them. They're just a tough team. It is running out. I believe that their guys are old. Marchand's getting old. Patrice Bergeron's getting up there too, I believe. But I can't stand them. But they're flat out an aggressive team, and I don't think Toronto's anything. I don't think anything good about Toronto. They're there. It's a close race, but I think out of all those teams, out those 4 teams, they're the worst. So I think Detroit could beat them. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. I don't know. Detroit looked pretty bad the other night.
Yeah, we embarrassed them.
I didn't expect that at all. Their goaltenders were just off.
I saw a funny meme. They had this one on Twitter today that, that Chris Rock and Will Smith incident.
Oh, geez, yeah.
We
won't talk about that. But
no, I'm not. But there's this funny meme.
We won't talk too much about it. But,
no, it has to do with sports. There was a meme
I know it has to do with sports. But, first of all, we could talk a little bit about it, but that whole situation is a slippery slope type of situation.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
We'll talk about it more after the show.
But they had the Detroit Red Wings logo on Chris Rock.
Yeah,
and the Penguins logo on Will Smith, and he was,
I've seen some stuff.
That was a funny one.
I've seen some memes. The memes. I woke up the next morning after it happened and got on Instagram. It's the first thing I do. Wake up and check the sports feed on Instagram, and I saw that in there, and I'm like, what the heck happened? What's this picture? And I just Googled Oscars, and the main headline was Will Smith smacks Chris Rock. I'm like, what? Are you serious?
They made some funny memes out of it, sports wise.
I've seen all of them. I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
They're funny. But we're cruising in this show. But I'm going Boston, you're going Toronto.
Yep.
And they're in Boston. That's a tough place to play.
It is, but Toronto's record-wise, they're just as good as them.
Yeah, I can't stand Boston, but I don't know. They're on a streak, so I might as well pick them.
You just pick them for entertainment reasons.
I guess. But next game, let's go Carolina and Tampa Bay. Man,
this is a good one.
I'm not even no hesitation here. I'm picking Carolina. I know they've been on a little bit of a skid, but let's look. They have won 2 in a row. Before that, at one point they lost 4 in a row. So they're back a little bit, and they just played them. They just played them on the 22nd. So and they beat them 3-2. So that game was a close game, and they're about to have another close game too. And I like Carolina's last 5 compared to Tampa Bay's last 5. Look with Carolina, you beat Washington, you beat St. Louis, you beat a very tough and solid Dallas team. There's another one. That Dallas team is definitely a sleeper team. We were talking about them yesterday. They're going to be in the wild card. Look out for Dallas. Honestly, they could upset some teams. So that's a good quality loss. They only lost by 1. Then they beat Tampa Bay and they lost to the Rangers. And that's just another tough, metropolitan team. That's going to happen. Now, I look here. Tampa Bay, you beat the Islanders, who kind of stink, and you beat Detroit, who kind of stinks. You beat them 2-1, and Pittsburgh just beat them 11-2.
Yeah.
So, that just should say something right there. And then you lose to Boston, Carolina, and New York. Those are all top teams right there. Those are teams who are going to play in the playoffs. You can beat them. Yeah, look, I know Carolina lost to New York, but they beat Tampa Bay. They beat Dallas, or they beat St. Louis, who's another one, and they beat Washington. So They can beat playoff teams. I mean, you're going to lose a couple of that, but they're in a tight division, and most of the games are divisional games, like with the Rangers. But I mean, they're going to win most of them. I like this Carolina team. This team may go. I don't want them to go. I want Pittsburgh, but Carolina is.
Yeah, but if it's not us, I wouldn't mind seeing Carolina.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Carolina at all. I wouldn't. But they're a sick team. Like they can play. I've watched them a couple of times, man. They're slick. Like they're fast. They play good defense. So let's have to see. Tampa Bay is still a heck of a team, but I don't believe the 3 in a row. I bet that's the main thing there. I think the hype is getting to them a little bit. 3 years ago, I know they lost first round of the playoffs to Columbus. You remember that? It was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
The next 2 years they won back to back. So they need something bad to happen. Then next year they'll probably be back. Like they need to be upset, and then next year they'll be back. Just watch.
Yeah.
They get upset.
Game, we just got done talking about Boston. That's a tough place to play. Tampa Bay is a tough place to play.
Yeah, it is.
I know that really they just won the last 2 Stanley Cups, but that's what they developed over those last 2 runs was, hey, it's gonna be hard for you to come in here and try to beat us. And they still have all those core players that they've had that developed that part in Tampa Bay. Like, hey, it's your road team. We're not going to let you win here. So Carolina's a good team. Like you said, if it's not Pittsburgh, I'd like to see them make a run.
Me too, or the Rangers.
Or the Rangers.
The Rangers too.
But I think Tampa's got this game.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going back to the finals. I mean, I keep saying don't count them out because they are still defending champs. But
I mean, they have some players. I mean, Steve Stamkos is a heck of a player. Victor Hedman. Oh man, Pat Maroon. I think 1 second. I believe Pat Maroon was on the Stanley Cup team with St. Louis a couple years ago. Let's look.
I think he was.
I'm looking. I believe he was.
What, 2019?
Yeah. He was on there. He's an old dude, but they call him the Big Rig. But he was with St. Louis. Let's see. I hate how on Wikipedia with hockey they don't put when they won championships. You have to go in and read. Here it is. Yeah, they went and they played. They beat the Bruins.
Yeah, 2019.
2019. So and then he signed with Tampa Bay. He's won 2 more. So that's something right there. But they're stacked with players, and so is Carolina. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But let's go ahead and move on here. Let's talk some MLB. Mike, I'll let you go in. Alec and I made our predictions last week. With the AL and NL, you can go ahead and do that quick, and then we'll talk about free agent signings.
Okay.
So go ahead.
All right, I'm going to start with the National League. I'll start with the West because I feel like that's kind of not easy, but you know who's going to be number 1? It's going to be the Dodgers. 2, I'm going to put the Padres at 2. I think they're a good offseason. I like some of the pickups they had. I'm going to go Giants. I'm going to go Giants 3 because, they did win a division last year. They still have most of their guys. They lost Chris Bryant, but they're still going to be good if they got more pitching.
He went to Colorado. So
yeah, I got Colorado in 4th. I like that pickup of Chris Bryant, but they still don't have the pitching. And they still really don't. They just lost Trevor Story, too. So that's another reason why.
Yeah,
and the D-backs at 5.
To Boston, right? To Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good pickup, too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second.
Then this National League Central, I'm going to go Brewers at number 1 because I like the team they've had the last couple of years. They just picked up McCutchen, too, an extra outfielder. I like that. I like the Cardinals, too, but I don't. They just don't really. They have the core players they have.
Braves there, man.
No, Central, Matt. They're in the East.
Oh, Central. Oh, Central. Yeah. My bad.
Maybe if I said East, but no. Yeah, Central. I'm going to go Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs. Again, this isn't the fandom of me, but I'm going to put the Pirates at 4 because I'm going to put the Reds at 5 because they lost pretty much the whole team. They lost Nick Castellanos. They lost a bunch of other guys. So they traded away some guys too. So I'm going to put the Reds at 5. I'm going to slip the Pirates up to 4 because I can see them winning like 70 games. I like the pickups they've had. What's that?
I think I had the Reds right there too. Reds picked up some guys. Like the Reds are stacking.
They lost a lot of guys.
They did?
The Reds, yeah.
Okay. They did pick up
Castellanos went to Philly, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They lost somebody else too.
I forget. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking of somebody else.
Oh, and they traded away one good pitcher. They had to forget his name too.
Wait. Was it the dude that had the no hitter?
No, the guy that had the. Castillo.
Oh yeah, Castillo's pretty good.
I think they traded him somewhere, but yeah, I'm gonna put Pittsburgh at 4 because they're gonna stink. Don't get me wrong, but I like some of the guys I picked up.
we put them in last.
I'm not putting them in last because I think this division's really not as good as it has been. So I think anybody, I could see the Cubs finishing last.
Yeah, you could.
So I mean, they traded away all their guys last year. You remember that deadline? They traded away everybody.
Yeah. Baez.
So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go National League East. I'm putting Phillies number 1. They might have the best lineup, probably at least one of them in baseball. They got Castellanos, they got Kyle Schwarber. He's gonna lead off for them. Their lineup's deep, so I'm gonna go Phillies 1.
And they still have Bryce Harper.
Yeah, Bryce.
I believe they picked up. Who did they pick up? One of the Braves pitchers. Let me look. No, never mind. Wait, maybe. Who picked up Drew Smiley?
Oh yeah, he went somewhere. There's been so many moves I can't keep track of them.
I forget. It's not saying it. Looks like I don't know.
Well, I'll go ahead here. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Phillies 1. I'm gonna go Mets 2. I'm gonna go Braves at 3, and Marlins at 4th, and Nationals at last place.
Okay.
In the National League East.
I think I still put Atlanta first. They just won the World Series. I know they lost Freddie Freeman, but they did pick up Matt Olson, and they did lose Drew Smiley, but they picked up Kenley Jansen.
Well,
in their bullpen.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're gonna have Acuna Jr. coming back, so
yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. I'm still staying Phillies at 1, but I think Mets and Braves are a toss-up for second.
Oh, I think the Mets. They signed a couple big names. They're still gonna lose.
I know, but that Max Scherzer pickup's gonna be sweet.
No,
I'm just saying. All right, so move on.
We're saying the Lindor trade was gonna be sweet. Look what he has done.
I agree with that, but
so that's a bottom feeder team.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the American League now. I'm gonna go.
Go ahead here.
I'm gonna go start with the East. I'm gonna go Yankees at 1. I don't want to say that, but they're probably gonna be.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Blue Jays at 2. I honestly though, I wouldn't be surprised if Blue Jays won this division.
I think I put Tampa Bay there, and I think I put Toronto at 2nd.
Yeah. Oh, okay? Yeah, it's a little
Boston
different,
and Yankees. Baltimore will always be last. So.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest one in any of these divisions. But mine's kind of weird. I'm gonna go, like I said, Yankees at 1, Blue Jays 2. I'm gonna go Red Sox 3. I'm putting Tampa at 4.
Trevor Story, man. Trevor Story.
Yeah, I know.
Back of a player. And they have Bogarts. Their infield is loaded.
This division is sweet because I was just putting this together and I was like, well, the Yankees you probably think are going to be 1. I think the Blue Jays, they had a good offseason too.
They got a lot of big names and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just spend money.
And then I put the Red Sox 3. I was like, oh wait, Tampa just won the division last year. I'm gonna put them at 4.
Don't put them at 4. They're at 1. What are you doing?
Matt, they're not all these Yankees, Blue Jays, and Red Sox are all better than them.
We'll see.
I think
they won 100 games last year.
I know. And this division was one of the best last year.
One of the lowest payrolls out of that whole division. They had the lowest payrolls besides Baltimore, probably. But
yeah.
Boston and New York have more money than they do, and they won, 8 more games than they did. They spend less money. That was the big discussion when we talked about this. It was all about the money, like who spends the most, and they spend this much money, but they're they don't win championships. That's the Yankees. So.
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead.
Hold on. All right, so American League Central. I'm with this is Indians division or Guardians division. White Sox, they're going to win division again. They're sweet. I'm going to put the Twins at 2. I'm putting the Twins at 2. I think they're going to bounce back here. They had good pickups. They had a bad year last year. I think they're going to bounce back this year.
They pick up Carlos Correa from Houston.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet. And Detroit picked up Javier Baez, so that'll be sweet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
So
I got Cleveland in last.
I'm gonna go Detroit at 3, and then I'm gonna put Cleveland at 4, and then Kansas City at 5.
Okay. We'll see.
I forgot about the bias
City
pickup. Thanks for reminding me that.
Kansas City did. Let me look to make sure.
Yeah, I forgot about that bias pickup.
Let me look at the pitchers. Center fielders. I'm looking. I believe Kansas City did pick up one of the guys that started with them, Zach Greinke. I believe they picked him up.
Yeah.
So I believe they did. Yeah, I think they did. Did they? There's right-handed relievers.
He's back there. Yeah,
he's back there. So that's sweet to see him go back there. And I like Whit Merrifield, and I think Salvador Perez is still the best catcher in baseball. I don't care what anybody says. And they still have Carlos Santana, who I'll always like. I mean, I got his Cleveland bobblehead right here, I think. Maybe. No, I don't. But he's still one of my favorite Cleveland players. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But go ahead and move in your last division.
This is the last one I got. So I'm going to go Houston in the West. I don't want to do that either, but they're still a good team. I got to give them credit. Yep. I'm going to put the Angels at 2. I think this is the year they finally bust out because they picked up a lot of pitching this offseason. That's really the only thing they were missing the last couple of years. They kept saying they have loaded offense.
They got that new rule now, too.
Yeah.
That new rule where, what was it, pitchers, there's no DH or something like that? I forget.
Well,
the pitchers can't, NL teams can't, like they're going to have DHs now. Is that it?
Yeah.
So that'd be sweet. And I know they're an American League team, but like when they go and play NL teams, like you can just, I mean, one of your pitchers, you can put Shohei Ohtani up there and he'll be in the lineup anyway. So that helps him.
He's one of the greatest shows in the sport too. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Houston 1. I'm going to go the Angels at 2. I'm going to go Mariners at 3. I think they had a good year last year. And I think they had a lot of young guys last year. I think they're going to improve on that. I'm going to go Rangers at 4 and Athletics at 5. So there you have
Athletics, it. They did lose a lot. They lost
a lot.
Chapman, Olsen. So
yeah.
But I mean, look what they did. Hey, look what they did the last major time they lost players was what, 2002? They still made the playoffs. They made the movie Moneyball about it. So
the A's, they found a way.
I still put them up there. I still put them up there.
Yeah.
So I like the Oakland. The whole thing of them moving, I don't like it at all. Like I want them to stay there.
All these teams are leaving Oakland. The Warriors left Oakland. Raiders left.
Raiders left.
The A's have to be in Oakland. They just have to be.
They have to be. But moving on here, I mean, let's see. Big signings. And I have a couple of them. A lot of people don't really look at. I mean, Roberto Perez, longtime Cleveland catcher, signed with Pittsburgh. So I actually like that. Well, we did sign Sandy Leon, who's pretty much at the end of his career. I mean, he made some big play with Boston, but I think he's getting there. So he's like 33. So and Young Gomes signed with the Cubs. So
yeah, that's the thing. That's one thing I'm going to say. That's why I didn't pick the Pirates to finish last, because other than me, they're being my favorite team, they're going to stink. Like I said, I'm not denying that. But I like some of the guys they picked up. They picked up, like you said, Roberto Perez. They picked up Greg Allen that used to play for Cleveland. He's going to be our fourth outfielder. I think that's a good option for their fourth outfielder. And you got
really, Greg Allen. Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's not the best, but he's a good fourth outfielder.
He has speed.
He has speed. He can steal some bases. They're not a good base stealing team. Or it's not that they're not good at it. They just don't steal bases that often. So he's a guy that they could use to steal base if he gets on. And I like. You remember Daniel Vogelbach? He played for the Mariners. They picked him up to be a DH / first baseman because they lost Colin Moran. So
that'd be sweet.
But yeah, they're going to stink. But I like some of the guys that they brought in just to fill the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, we'll move on. We got like 5 minutes later. We'll go a couple of the positions here. First baseman, obviously, Freddie Freeman is the big one that signed. Anthony Rizzo signed again with the Yankees. You guys Pittsburgh signed what? Yoshi, do you have me out here?
Tsutsugo.
Tsutsugo.
He has some power.
Deal. Okay.
He finished like the last 2 months last year with him. He has some power.
Second baseman. You got a lot of people signed with the Orioles. Shed Long Jr. signed with the Orioles. Roughneck Odor, who played most of Texas, right? So then he signed with the Orioles. Chris Owings signed with the Orioles. They have some figuring out to do. Matt Carpenter, he was a big guy for St. Louis, signed with the Rangers. So we'll have to see that.
He was a pirate killer in that division.
Yeah.
He always
Chris
hit home
Taylor
runs.
signed back with the Dodgers. I like that. I like Jonathan Villar going with the Cubs again. So,
mm-hmm.
And then the shortstops. Here's the big one. I mean, Carlos Correa with Minnesota, and Javier Baez signed with the Tigers. So, I like that. Corey Seager.
Like I said, I forgot about that signing, Matt.
Yeah. Trevor Story. Everybody knows Trevor Story with the Red Sox, and Eric Gonzalez signed with the Marlins. So he was Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So
yeah,
I liked him with Pittsburgh. So I was
he kind of turned it on in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Then he kind of got bad again.
You still third baseman. You still have Asdrubal Cabrera playing. I think he's with Cincinnati. You still have Asdrubal.
He's still playing. He's been with every team in the league.
That's what it says right here.
Gosh.
Former Pirates, Josh Harrison, Jay Hay. Man, Jay Hay was sweet. He signed with the White Sox. Brock Holt signed with the Braves. He was Texas. So I like that. A couple of people retired. Kyle Seager retired. Like a lot of people retired that you don't realize retired. So what's that?
That's the thing. I was thinking about putting Seattle at 2 in the West, American League West, but I was like, I think Seager just left or he retired or something. So I was like, I'm gonna.
There's a bunch of people. I mean, with the outfield, Corey Dickerson. He played for Pittsburgh, didn't he? He was with Toronto. Yeah, he signed with the Cardinals. So. Yeah, Andrew McCutchen with the Brewers, man, he's jumped around. After he left Pittsburgh, he's jumped a lot.
Yeah.
And Eddie Rosario signed back with the Braves, of course, Schwarber. Jorge Soler, World Series MVP, signed with the Marlins. So Marlins are signing some people. Look out for the Marlins.
Yeah.
They just signed a World Series MVP. So look out. The guy can hit. He's got some power.
Yeah, maybe they could drop.
I wish we could go through all these, but we're running out of time. We talked about the big ones.
It's starting.
Nelson Cruz signed with the Nationals, and Chris Davis is back with Oakland. I like Chris Davis. So
yeah.
And the big one was Albert Pujols signed him with St. Louis. So I mean, a decade ago, he was there. I mean, a lot of people forget he was St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like for a decade.
I couldn't stand him in St. Louis, but because I just don't like the Cardinals.
Yeah, I know. But I wish we'd talk about this more, but that's going to wrap it up here with the Casual Sports Podcast. We'll be back here tomorrow. I think Alex on here tomorrow. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You're not here. Are you here tomorrow?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Alex and I will be on tomorrow. Be tuned to stand and watch Power Hour coming on next here on YSN Live. See you all later. Have a good day. We're going to have good weather tomorrow, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
See you all tomorrow, everybody.